Hello, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you are joining me from. Welcome to Life Class with Ayum. I'm so excited to be with you today again because it's a new month. I'm here, I'm healthy, and I believe God is also keeping you. So we thank God for the privilege of seeing another day and also seeing the first Saturday of another month. So you are welcome. This month, I'll be speaking on the subject of self-esteem stroke self-image. Self-esteem stroke self-image. And I'm taking time to speak on this subject because I know that a lot of our successes, a lot of things are tied to our self-esteem and our self-image. So I'm going to have a couple of weeks to deal with this subject, and I know that you are in for a great time because I know we are in for a ride. So if this is your first time of joining me, this is Live Class with Ayum. I do this on Saturday, every Saturday at 1 p.m. UK time. And I stream live through Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching this, I don't know the channel you're watching. If you're watching on Facebook, you've not liked us, please give us that thumbs up. Like us on Facebook. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Because when you do that, each time we upload a new video or we go live like this, you'll be notified. And if this video blesses you, please share it with somebody that you think it will also be a blessing to. So today, I'm going to be speaking on understanding your self-esteem stroke self-image. Understanding your self-esteem stroke self-image. So what is okay, let me look at self-esteem first. What is self-esteem? Self-esteem is the subjective valuation you have of yourself, the way you value yourself. And because of that valuation that you have of yourself, it makes you feel a certain way. So if you have a positive self-esteem, it means that you give yourself a good valuation. You rate yourself very high. You are somebody that probably you feel loved, you feel respected, you feel valuable, you feel important. So it's that subjective valuation you have of yourself. And of course, self-image is the mental picture that you also have of yourself. The way you see yourself mentally, that is your self-image. The way you think you look physically, the abilities you think you have. So the way you see yourself. Because the reason why self-esteem and self-image is so important is because no matter how people see us, no matter how people feel about us or want to make us feel, if we don't see ourselves in a good way and we don't feel good about ourselves, people's effort is always going to be a waste. It's like people are just giving you things and it's like bouncing back because you are not able to receive it or see yourself that way. I don't know whether maybe somebody has given you a compliment before. Oh, you look so beautiful. And then you are saying, oh, no, yeah, I don't think so. Or somebody say, oh, your dress is beautiful. And you are saying, oh, I only bought it for £5 in the street market. It's not about where you bought it from. It's about the fact that it sits on you very well and you look beautiful. So you find that when you have a negative self-image or you have a poor self-esteem, it's difficult for you to accept compliments. It's difficult for you to feel good about yourself. You always feel you are not good enough. You always feel that anything you do is not going to be accepted. You always feel that people don't see you in a good light. And because of that, it affects your performance and your success in life. And that is why I'm taking time to talk about this subject. And you find that there are so many causes for a low self-esteem or a negative self-image. There are so many causes. But I'm just going to look at I'm going to look at three areas that causes a poor self-esteem or a negative self-image for us. And one of such area is our upbringing. The way we are brought up has a lot to do with whether we develop a positive self-image or we have a high self-esteem. Because if you are somebody that grew up in an abusive environment, maybe you were always being beaten, you were bullied. There are some people that have grown up that people that should protect them have abused them, maybe physically, sexually. And you find that those things make you to begin to feel worthless. You begin to feel, oh, it's because I don't have any word. That is why people treat me the way they treat me. Or there's some people that wake up every morning and the first thing that they hear is an abuse. Maybe you've lost your parents, you are staying with an auntie or somebody, And every morning when you wake up, all she rains on you is curses and abuses. And because of that, you feel worthless. You feel, oh, I don't have any value. You see yourself as somebody that is not good because you think, oh, if I'm good, she'll not be treating me like this. If I'm good, people will not be doing this to me. So you find that our upbringing has a lot to do with our self-esteem. And the thing there is that, of course, you had nothing to do about your upbringing. You just woke up and realized that, okay, this is where I am. This is the situation I found myself now. But our upbringing has a lot. Because if you grow up in a family that is affirming, a family that is loving, you find that yes, it's easier for you to have a good self-image and a positive self-esteem. But if you grow up, on the other hand, in an abusive, in a negative family, then you find that yes, it also affects your self-esteem. And then another thing that also affects our self-esteem and our self-image is our environment. You find that we are in an environment that is so negative. In fact, if you want to be depressed, just wake up, put on the news and listen to the news for the rest of the day. And you find that before the end of the day, you start feeling depressed, you start feeling so negative and all that. So the environment that we are is so negative. And there are also like images of how people should look. This is the kind of perfect image of how a woman should look. This is the perfect image of how a man should look. This is what success looks like. And then the society defines all these things. And because of that, if you don't look like that, or you are not doing what maybe you think society thinks is success, then because of that, you consider yourself a failure. And then you want to shrink back. You want to hide your head because you now feel that, oh, I don't measure up. And because of that, it can lead to a negative a self-image and a low self-esteem. I've heard it say that by the time you are 17, you have heard no, you can't 150,000 times. And you've only heard yes, you can only 5,000 times. So if you do the ratio of no, you can't and yes, you can, divide 150 by 5,000, that gives you 30. So that's a ratio of 30 to 1. So by the time you are 17, you've heard no, you can't 150,000 times. That means for each time you heard yes, you've heard no, you can't. So you can just imagine if every time you keep saying no, you can't do this, no, you are not up to this, no, you are not good enough, no, your qualification is not this, and maybe once in a while you hear yes, you can. The usual or the natural thing is that you just tend to that no, you can't. And because of that, it builds a low self-esteem in you. When opportunities show up, you think, no, I can't take this opportunity. It's not for people like me. It's not for people of my color. And because of that, you shrink back. So you just find that, yes, the way that we are brought up, the environment that we find ourselves has a lot to do with our self-image and our self-esteem. And then the third way that I want to talk about that also affects our self-esteem is our experiences. Our experiences. Many times, many times you may have grown up in an environment that may be positive, but as life begins to happen, if you begin to experience personal failures, if you begin to experience personal heartaches, if certain things happen and it begin to bring pain to your life, there is a way that it begins to affect your self-esteem and your self-image. And I can say this from my practical life experiences. Because growing up, I've been somebody that I always believe that I can get whatever I want to get. I could be ambitious and want to go out for it. But when life began to happen to me, I just find that not without me being conscious of it, I just found that my self-esteem began to go down. I began to think that maybe it's because something is wrong with me. That is why all these bad things are happening to me, bad in quote, because now I see it from a different light. Now I don't see the things that have happened to me as bad, but I see those things as experiences that needed to build me up so that I can do the things that God wants me to do. So you find that when we go through all these negative life experiences, for me, when I had my daughter Grace, she was very different from every other child. I was believing God for a male child. I had a female child. And then at the end of the day, it looks like everything that could be wrong was wrong with her. And after putting in so much into her, she eventually dies. And I just find that all these things was beginning to affect my self-esteem. But thank God that I was able to catch them very quickly. And when I caught them that, yes, this is what this experiences is trying to do to my self-esteem, I began to work on myself. And that is the reason why I'm sharing this video with you, doing this video on self-esteem and self-image. Because if you've had some negative life experiences, it has a way of deflating our self-esteem. It has a way of turning our self-image that used to be positive into negative. But the question I have for you today is that, are you going to do something about it? And maybe next week I'll go into more details about that. But I want to share a scripture with us, because the way we see ourselves affects everything about us. It affects what we can go for and what we shrink from. It affects our success, even when opportunities is being thrown at us. If you look at Numbers chapter 13, verse 33, Numbers 13:33 says, the King James Version, I'll read the King James Version first. It says, and there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. And then if you read it from the Berean Study Bible, it says, we even saw the Nephilim there, the descendants of Anak that come from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshopper in our own sight, and we must have seemed the same to them. I like this Berean Study Bible translation because it paints so beautifully the way self-esteem and self-image plays out in our life. These were the children of Israel. As a matter of fact, they were the 12 spies that Joshua had sent to go and spy the land of Canaan before they go in to go and occupy, because this was the promise God made to them. And when they went and they came back, 10 of those 12 spies came back with negative reports. And in the report, they said, this was just the report they said. Yes, of course, they said the land that we are going to actually flows with milk and honey. But the bad news is that we are not able to take this land, because in our own sight, we look like grasshoppers. And then they said the way we see ourselves is also the way we think they see us. Look at what the Berean and Study Bible version says. It says, we seemed like grasshoppers in our own sight, and we must have seemed the same to them. That is just the way our self-image plays out. When you see yourself very low, that is the way you think other people also see you. And because of that, it makes you to act in a certain way. But today I am here to just let you know, become very much aware of this, that you are much more than you think you are. And along the line, in the course of the week, I'm going to be saying more about this. Today, I just want you to understand what self-esteem is, what self-image is, and the way it plays out in our life. Because when you begin to see yourself in a certain way, you believe that that is the way these other people see you. So I want you to hang out with me this week. Every Saturday, I'll be coming with you as we begin to build on this subject. And at the end of the day, we are going to come up with ways that we can begin to work on our self-esteem. So I hope this video has blessed you. And like I said earlier on, if this video blesses you, please share it with others so that they also can be blessed. The good thing is that self-esteem, self-image is a skill that you can learn. Just like you learn any other skill, you can also learn it. So no matter what life has thrown at you, no matter the upbringing that you have, no matter the environment that you find yourself, you can build a positive self-image and a healthy self-esteem. So I'm going to stop here for now, but before I go, I want to leave you with a quote. This quote is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, if you have lost confidence, he said, if I have lost confidence in myself, I have the universe against me. If I have lost confidence in myself, I have the universe against me. If you have lost confidence in yourself, you have the universe against you. That is why you cannot afford to lose confidence in yourself, because each time we have a low self-esteem, it means that we have lost confidence in ourselves. So begin to pick up your confidence today, and I will tell you more on how you can do this in the coming weeks. So don't miss this month. Don't miss any of the teachings this month for anything, because I believe it's going to be a great blessing to you. So until I be with you again next week, God bless you and continue to build a positive self-image and a healthy self-esteem.
Are you going through a traumatic experience? Does all hope seem lost? Are you looking for a way out? Then these books are for you. Mama Grace. He gave me comfort through the storm. All by Ayum Ejiga. These books are available in paperbacks, Kindle versions, and audiobooks on all Amazon websites worldwide and other online bookstores. You can also find the audiobooks on Audible and iTunes. So take heart. These books will show you the way out of trauma to triumph. And you will have the last laugh.